Good day, viewers. You're welcome to the State of Nation with Tribune TV. This is where we discuss major happenings in the political world. I'm Temitope Adegui, and with me in the studio is a political analyst, Dr. Awolaja. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. Yes, my pleasure to be here.
All right, sir. So down to business. We want to be talking about Edo election. You know, the latest update is on the national chairman of PDP, People Democratic Party, Governor Yemso Wike, saying to the former national chairman of APC that he has no moral stand to dictate to the people of Edo State in the forthcoming election. In your state, what's your opinion about that, sir?
Well, you see, politicians, I was a political reporter for years. I am aware that Nigerian politicians generally lack credibility. So when they talk about morality, values, everything is associated with the pursuit of power. A senator, Aton Zeribe, said the essence of politics is the pursuit of power. That seems to be what is guiding, what is in the mind of Nigerian politicians, you know, over the years. Whereas if you pursue power, you ought to have an overarching objective, a philosophy, you know, of what you want to do with the power. But politicians just speak in relation to power. So I don't want to get into the debate of who has the moral right to do what. You know, they are all just interested in power. That's why Wike is saying that. You see, but on the other hand, you have to admit that what has been happening in Edo State is not very encouraging. You know, there is dictatorship, apparently, as Wike pointed out. But what I want to just say is that the two sides, there is nothing that is encouraging, no ennobling values or virtues that you can say, okay, I want to stand here. Nothing. All
right, sir. You know, the former national chairman adds this state that Governor Obaseki does not qualify to be a governor because he doesn't have a certificate and all. So in the chat, I mean, in one of the words that Wike said, he said Oshiomhole too does not have certificate. So he is not qualified to say Governor Obaseki. For example, I would like to quote some of the things he said here. You know, Governor Wike said, and I quote, "Still it's unfortunate that we are in a country that somebody that does not have a certificate will question the one that has. I challenge him to show the world his academic qualifications." So my question is, okay, where is this coming from? You know, Obaseki not having qualifications and, you know, PDP returning it back to Oshiomhole saying the same thing. What's the field coming up in this too?
Our political class is not sincere. If Oshiomhole knew that Godwin Obaseki did not have certificates, then why did he support him to be governor? He supported him to be governor. Now that the table has turned, he's now saying he doesn't have certificates. Whereas the University of Ibadan came out to say that this guy graduated from our university. He was a student of classics, a 2-2, I suppose. He graduated with a second class lower. So the University of Ibadan confirmed that the guy is a graduate. On the other hand, I happen to know that Oshiomhole is not associated with any formal institution like a university or polytechnic. All right, he was a labor leader who perhaps attended some courses here and there. So it really should not be the person talking about who had a certificate or not. You know, like the other guy said. Not that the other guy is significantly morally better anyway, but I'm just saying that the university has said that this guy is our alumnus. So what's Oshiomhole talking about? Oshiomhole never attended any university. In fact, I recall that even his primary school credentials are in dispute. He claimed to have attended a school which did not exist as of the time he said he attended that school. So all these people are just taking the masses for a ride, all of them.
Speaking about the election, the governorship election coming up soon by October, looking at Governor Obaseki running under the flag of PDP and Yamu on the flag of APC, and you know there's been this ups and downs. Really, yes. It's really been a long one while coming. What's your take? What's your advice to people that are going to vote? I mean, Edo people that are going to vote, because as it is right now, these two parties are the leading party.
Yes, it's a two-horse race basically. Yeah. You know, in politics or political analysis, it's a two-horse race. Everyone, of course, there are over, I think, is it a dozen or more political parties contesting the election? But we know really that it's a two-horse race between Yamu and Obaseki. Interestingly, Ize Iyamo used to be in PDP. Obaseki was in APC. Now the tide has turned. The table has been reversed and all of that. So, okay, judging by his performance, I think it can be said without fear of contradiction that Obaseki has done well. But we know that in Nigeria, a second term is not all about having done well or not. There are also political undercurrents. You know, there are factors, there are issues, there are things that come into play. What I would just say is this: let us abide by the rules. It is left for the people of Edo State to determine who rules them. Okay. Now, this guy was in APC. Oshiomhole went round the state campaigning for him and said it is the next. Is the best thing to happen to Edo State probably after sliced bread. Now he has become the enemy. The other guy that was in PDP now has the job of denouncing PDP. You know, so I mean, let's see how it plays out. But let them abide by the rules. Let them play according to rules to the rules of the game. Let there be no violence. Let's see what plays out. So but I think that Obaseki has done well, really, as a governor. He has done well. He has touched lives.
All right, so speaking about defection from one party to the other, this leads me to my second topic for today, which is on Dogara. I mean, moving from a party to, we notice that this thing has been, it's rampant. Ondo deputy governor also moved to
PDP and now to ZLP.
Yes, and now Dogara too moved from APC to PDP, now back to PDP.
It's all due to indiscipline in the political parties. And then you have to ask a fundamental question: are these parties really political parties in the sense of, for instance, the UPN or the Action Group? They are not. Look, the UPN, the Action Group, even the MPN, these parties were funded by donations by every member of the party. Every member of the party had a party card and they donated money to run affairs. Now it is a case of money bags, doing whatever, you know, they like. In the United States, of course, you could have someone who was a Democrat saying that, okay, in this election, I think I'm going to support a Republican because of this issue. It is about issues. It is about a philosophy. But the fluidity with which our politicians cross from one party to the other shows you really that there is no morality and there is no discipline, you know, behind it. For instance, Dogara, in defecting from PDP now to APC. He was in APC. He went to PDP prior to the last general election. Now I'm defecting to the APC. He said that the governor had failed, that the party promised to conduct a local government election within 6 months. That has not been done. That the payment of workers is being delayed or staggered. These are issues that could be addressed within the party. Interestingly, if you read the letter he wrote, he said, I know that I can't address these things without being tagged and without being charged with anti-party activities. For real, anti-party activities for asking relevant questions. It shows to you that the guy just had to have an alibi, okay? It seems to me that the guy is already interested in the politics of the next the 2023 general election, but he had to cook up excuses, you know, for leaving.
Rumor has it that he has intentions to come out to run for the presidential seat. I
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that. But you see, we should play by the rules. In the developed climes that I am aware of, you don't just defect just because you want power. There has to be issues. There has to be a philosophy. There has to be something propelling you. A fundamental issue. A fundamental issue. For instance, if a party is not ready to attend to the yearnings and aspirations of the people, and consistently you have spoken out, you have exhausted all means, you have spoken out internally, you have done everything you are supposed to do, and the party is unyielding, yes, that will provide the fundamental basis for defecting to another party. You say, okay, I've tried my best to, but my people are not listening to me, and I feel that the interest of our people cannot be met under this platform. I would understand that. But these people are just interested in politics. What I said in the beginning is still old. Aton Zeribe said the essence of politics is the pursuit of power. I mean, he was speaking on behalf of the average Nigerian politician. They are just interested in power. They are not interested in you and me. I'm sorry to say. The president cannot do much. There's beyond moral suasion, beyond talking to people, there is not much that he can do, because we know that politics, as they say, is a game of numbers. So I'm not aware of any chairman of any political parties that would tell people coming into that, okay, we don't need you, except those people don't have political weight, except there are some undercurrents, because politics is a game of numbers. The president, if I was in the office, maybe as president, as governor, there is not much that one could do. But you see, as media, as intellectuals, people in the academia, all these NGOs, you know, they need to begin speaking up about these things. We need to have a national conversation, you know, about issues like this, because the leadership recruitment process is fractured, it's faulty. I mean, look at this is how we recruit our leaders. I have nothing, sincerely, I have nothing against Godwin Obaseki. And I also have nothing against the guy, I mean nothing personal against Isi Yamu or Godwin Obaseki. But the ease with which they were able to move to the other party. For instance, until it became clear that he was not going to be allowed to contest the primary of the APC, Obaseki was a member of APC. Then suddenly he crossed over to the PDP and he became their candidate. You know, there's something fundamentally wrong, you know, with that process. You know, so it is not a movement now of ideas. It seems to be a movement like Atom Zeribe, you know, was referring to. So I think we need to have a national conversation. When we have a national conversation, then we need to rethink our idea of what political parties are and what they should be. We need to rethink the idea of political parties. We need to go back to the past. We need to go back to the days of the UPA, the AG. Those were political parties with party discipline. They handled all these issues, for instance, that Dogara raised. Chief Awolaja handled these issues. I remember there was one of his lieutenants who was said to have misappropriated a sum of money. Okay, and something happened along the line. He was suspended and all of that. So perhaps some people made a case for him and he was brought back and given a particular position. Then, from his emolument, from his salary, from his wages and things, the money he misappropriated years ago was deducted and remitted into the coffers of the government. So we need to have parties. We need to return to real parties, not all these platforms for the pursuit of power, for the capture of power, run by money bags. Is APC a party in the real sense? Can you compare? Okay, what is the program of APC and what is the program of PDP? You really can't say beyond this sloganeering of change, PDP power, APC change and all of that. There is nothing that is so encouraging. There are no ennobling, there are no ennobling issues around these parties. I'm not excited, you know, about the person. I'm sorry, I'm not excited.
Still on Edo election, you know, Wike said something that Oshiomhole claimed that the president has endorsed Ize-Iyamu as a governor aspirant. He says that it is not true, that he should come out and tell the people where the president actually endorsed him as the candidates for the governorship election. So in my opinion, I'm like, okay, so what kind of game is the governor trying to play?
Well, look, it all boils down to the kind of politics we play. It wouldn't matter too much if we abided by the rules, whether or not the president endorsed anybody. It is the people of Edo State that are going out to vote that should endorse. But of course, we know that politicians play this. Okay, I am the president candidate. The president has endorsed me. Let's see. It is not the president we should be talking about or governor. You see, it's like Wike attacks Oshiomhole. Oshiomhole attacks Wike. Oshiomhole attacks PDP. Ize-Iyamu says PDP is bad. Godwin Obaseki says Edo has always been a PDP state. It is the people, you know, the people that are supposed to be the center of discussion.
Obviously, the people are actually silent on this election. Because
of the power play among the elite, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Yes, but to be fair, it's not as if the candidates. It's not as if we have. I'm sorry that we are limiting this to Ize-Iyamu and Obaseki, but the truth is that it is a two-horse race. The other ones are just running, maybe to prepare the ground for future, for future elections. But it's not as if they have not talked about the things they do. For instance, the guy Ize-Iyamu, he has what is called a simple agenda. He says that he's going to turn Edo State around with that simple agenda. Whether or not he's able to do that, let's wait and see. Ideally, the candidate with the most compelling vision ought to emerge as the governor. But let's see what happens. Let's wait and see.
Speaking about Izeyamu's agenda, there was an accusation that came that his agenda was plagiarized, and he also came back and said
we face that problem all the time. Look, President Buhari gave a speech. People said, this idea was taken from Obama. So we have this problem all the times. Our politicians are not very original. But for me, it is not even the sloganeering. It is not about what you say, like change agenda, revolution, or whatever. It is how you are able to address the appalling poverty in which the majority of people are trapped that matters. Okay? For instance, I expect a governorship candidate to know the needs of the major areas of the state. For instance, if you go to Edo North, what are the fundamental issues that they want addressed beyond even roads and build roads? Look at Izeyamu. He commissioned a bowl. I'm not excited by such things. I'm sorry, I'm not excited. Commissioning a bowl.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We look forward to having you some other time.
Thank you.